Hello, JDL Elections Analysis here with the presidential election forecast. Before getting into it, I will state that I consider a forecast successful if it's within 3% of the actual margin. For the national popular vote, I forecast Donald Trump to get around 50.6% of the national vote and Kamala Harris to get around 48.1% of the national vote. This is a margin of 2.5%, a shift of 7% from 2020. Now onto the Electoral College. We'll start with the safe Democrat races. The strongest race for Harris will be Washington, D.C., which will go for Harris by a forecasted margin of 81.6%. The strongest state for Harris will be Vermont, which I am forecasting to go for her by 29.3%. And then Massachusetts will be next with a forecasted margin of 28.9%. And right behind Massachusetts is Maryland with a forecasted margin of 28.7%. Now going out to the islands of Hawaii, which I am forecasting to go for Harris by 22%. And California, which I covered in my California primary analysis, I am forecasting to go for Harris by 21.5%, a weak showing from her home state. I am forecasting Maine's 1st Congressional District to go for Harris by 16%. I am forecasting Rhode Island to go for Harris by 13.75%. I covered this state not too long ago, but I am forecasting Washington to go for Harris by 13.7%. I am forecasting Connecticut to go for Harris by 13% and Colorado for Harris by 12%. Joe Biden's home state of Delaware, I am forecasting to go for Harris by 11%. I am forecasting New York to have a strong shift of around 14 points and to go for Harris by 10.1%. Illinois will be the last of the safe Democrat states, and I'm forecasting it to go for Harris by 10%. This comes out to 169 safe Democrat electoral votes. Now, onto safe Republican races. I am forecasting Nebraska's 3rd Congressional District to go for Trump by 59%. And the strongest state for Trump will be Wyoming, which I am forecasting to go for Trump by 52%. I would forecast West Virginia to go for Trump by 47%, and North Dakota by 41.7%, and Oklahoma by 41.2%. Idaho will be forecasted to go for Trump by 39%, and Arkansas for Trump by 37%. South Dakota will be forecasted to go for Trump by 34%, Kentucky by 33.7%, Alabama by 33.1%. And for a strong shift towards Trump, Utah will be forecasted to go for Trump by 32.7%. Tennessee will be forecasted to go for Trump by 31%, Louisiana by 27%, Nebraska at large 26.9%, Mississippi by 25%, Montana by 24%, and Indiana by 23.7%. Missouri will be forecasted to go for Trump by 23%. In a weaker shift towards Trump, Kansas will be forecasted to go for Trump by 19.5%. And South Carolina will be forecasted to go for Trump by 19%. Nebraska's 1st Congressional District will be forecasted to go for Trump by 18%. While Democrats have been hopeful about the state of Alaska, I am forecasting that Trump will win the state of Alaska by 16.6%. Despite what a well-known poll is showing, I am forecasting Iowa to go for Trump by 15.7% and Ohio to go for Trump by 15%. I will forecast that Maine's 2nd Congressional District will go for Trump by 13%. Florida has been strongly trending Republican for years now. I will forecast that Florida will move to the right of Texas and will vote for Trump by 12.8%. The last safe Republican state will be Texas, which I am forecasting to go for Trump by 11.7%. I am forecasting that there will be 219 safe Republican electoral votes. Now for what everyone has been waiting for, the 7 key battleground states, which account for 93 combined electoral votes. We'll start with the states that are most favorable towards former President Trump. North Carolina has become a white whale for Democrats, and I am forecasting Trump to win the state by 5.3%, which comes to a likely margin. Wisconsin has become known for huge polling errors. While I don't think pollsters will miss as bigly on Wisconsin as they have in the past, they will miss nonetheless, and I have forecast Wisconsin to go for Trump by 4.8%. Trump will flip back the state of Arizona by 3.5%. Pennsylvania is anticipated to be the tipping point state, and I forecast that Trump will win the state by 3.4%, giving him 275 electoral votes. The closest state of 2020 was Georgia, and I forecast that Trump will win the state by 3.25%. One of Trump's closest wins in 2016 was the state of Michigan, and I forecast that Trump will win the state of Michigan by 2.9%. Nevada, the last of the 7 key battleground states, and a state that Trump has never won. I forecast that Trump will pull off the sweep and win the state of Nevada by 2.2%. Now we'll move on to the peripheral races. I forecast that Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, which in recent years has been moving towards Democrats, and many expect Democrats to win this congressional district easily this year. I forecast that Donald Trump will win Nebraska's 2nd congressional district by 0.7%. The closest state of 2024 will be the state of Minnesota, which I forecast to be decided by a margin of 0.12% in favor of Kamala Harris. In what will be a shock to many on election night, I forecast that Maine will be very close and will need to be decided by ranked choice voting. But in the end, I forecast that I will go for Kamala Harris by 1.6%. I forecast that the state of New Hampshire will go for Kamala Harris by 2.5%, and New Mexico will go for Harris by 2.7%. Virginia is one of the first states we'll get results out of, and will probably be where we first start to see warning signs for Democrats, and I forecast that Virginia will go for Harris by 5%. In a weak showing, I forecast that the state of New Jersey will go for Harris by 8%. Finally, last but not least, is the state of Oregon, which I forecast to go for Harris by 8.5%. And while this may surprise many people, this is actually one of my more confident forecasts. As you can see, I'm forecasting Trump to secure a decisive 313 to 225 Electoral College victory. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you would like to see more, please watch my forecasts on the other races and tune into my election night coverage on Tuesday, starting at 5:30 Eastern. Comment down below and follow me on social media. Finally, please share the content. Over and out.